Check, check. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. iPhone, are you in Microsoft or looking to get an entry that you're bullish on or slightly bullish? Let me know. I can help you look for some targets, or if you're looking to scale out or something, that matters too. So let me know. No entries. Perfect. Let's see if we can find some setups. Right now, Norman has Oh, sorry, I was back on mute. Yeah, we'll get a back test at Microsoft for you. Hopefully, back test those daily moving averages for sure. Yeah, well, I'll check some levels. Like I said, or like I will say when a couple more people roll in here, we're back to some previous levels, which is great. I'll get into a little more, but there's no reason we should be freaking out. We're literally down 3% from all-time highs. But there's some levels to watch here in a second. I don't want to go over it quite yet, but I got my game plan for this week for sure. But appreciate you guys being here. Give it a couple more minutes, one more premium ping, and then we'll get started. Crash, good to have you here, man. You got any requests? So far, we only got two, man. Let me know if you want something. SoFi and Microsoft. Yeah, I'll take a look at the slower movers tab if we got some time, if it's kind of dead tonight. I was looking at a couple things. I can't remember the names. I've been kind of just busy all weekend, but wasn't on the charts. But there's a couple names coming in some big support. But we'll definitely take a look at it. All right, 502. I'm gonna send out one more server ping and we'll dive in, guys. Really small class. Maybe people are just busy with stuff, but that's all right. As of now, guys, I'm gonna leave mics open or the opportunity. So ask away when we're going over something. But yeah, give me 1 second here. All right, guys, welcome in. Again, I'm staff member Starth 1K. Glad to have you guys in here. Glad to have all the regulars, maybe some newbies or some people are kind of new. We're glad you're here. Kind of how these things go on Sundays. I start with SPY and QQQ just to kind of get us a game plan where we're at, where I think we're going. And then it's up to you guys to kind of let me know if you guys want me to chart something out for you guys, whether you're looking for an entry on something, or if you're already in something and you're looking, hey, where should I be trimming here? Or I'm in something, I'm kind of deep red, is it worth holding or should I be out, kind of thing. So let me know in the chat, you guys. Like I said, SoFi Microsoft so far. But that's all we got. So with that, I'm going to dive in with SPY and QQQ, you guys. And I'll pay attention to the chat best I can. Hood just popped in, perfect. Again, let me know if you're in that or want to be in. That way it kind of helps me on charting. And Marvel, nice. Cool. All right, guys, SPY and QQQ. Again, like I kind of hinted at, first time in a long time that we actually had a little bit of a sell and we closed lower. So there's days where we kind of dipped a little bit and ended up a little bit higher or bought back up. But we finally had, I guess it's only really 2 days of just a little bit back-to-back selling. A little bit was based on earnings, and a lot of it was based on some market data we got, combined with Trump administration, excuse me. Some of the countries got tariff extensions, some did not. And so the market, a little bit more uncertainty, as River and other people always say, market doesn't like uncertainty. They like to know what's going on with a clear vision right now. There's some uncertainty back in the market with the tariffs back on. Again, some people got extensions, some people did not for whatever reason. I'm not smart enough to know that, but that's just what I seen last week. And we got some jobs data too that I think was not what the markets would to see. So again, you guys, we're literally down. I measured it. We're down 3.48% from this high. So your long-term portfolios are not crashing. It's just a dip. And a couple weeks from now or a couple months, this dip probably won't even matter. It'll probably be back up. But again, just long-term big picture, I got some levels for us to watch here. This one should be red because we're now under it. So red resistance is how I like to trade it. But I want to show you guys what we're coming into here. So again, focus on this thick red zone overhead and this green over or under below us. And now I'm going to scroll back to the left and just kind of show you guys what I'm watching, what I want to see. So basically, before I do that, what I want to see this week or best case scenario for us is if you're a buyer, if you're a bull or bullish, any buy, any sells into here should be bought with confidence. We should be looking to buy the dips. We've seen that reaction back in here. And when I scroll back left, you're going to see why that level matters so much. But again, kind of what I'm looking for Monday, if we open where we're going to open at, do we push into this and do we get back over it, or do we reject again? If we reject again, we're going to start building day 2 of a consolidation zone inside of here. If we come back into here, I want to see buybacks of here. Buybacks in here means buyers are still here. There's no fear on, short term at that moment, at that day, more downside than I'm seeing. But if we break 620 tomorrow, this week, anytime, it's probably going to be a leg down. I'm not sure how far, but I'll show you guys in a second. But Now that I mentioned that, I'm going to scroll left slowly here. We're going to go back to the beginning of July and kind of show you what I'm looking at, why I'm looking at, why this level matters here. So this is July 3rd here. We've seen us push up. We had that nice holiday pump back into the range. And what do? We range bounce. Yes, we peaked out over, but ultimately we kept getting closes back and forth, back inside this range. Anytime we come into 620, yes, it sold under, but candle closes on the 1 hour are not closing under that 620. So this is heavy buyer volume kicking in, buying this back up, saying no, sellers, you're not going to take it today. Back up here on this 624 to 625 zone, selling pressure kicks in big time. Okay, so back to present day, that's kind of what I'm watching. That is my game plan this week. Again, if this holds, we continue to hold this. So how I trade is I look at the overall markets and to say, okay, is it holding this support? Yes. So is it safe to get in swings? Yes, with caution. But if we keep selling, it's not the spot where I just want to enter a position trying to catch the knife. But if this continues to hold this week on SPY, again, look for the 624, 625 pocket overhead. Does that break over, or does that keep getting rejection over and over and over? And until it breaks one way, like it or not, we will be in this range, which isn't bad. A $1 range sucks, but 620, 625, a nice $5 range, that would be a blessing for us because we know where our tops are, we know where our bottoms are. Any questions on SPY? Again, unmute your mic, keep it on topic. If so, if not, I'm going to go to QQQ. Similar situation. So QQQ is all tech heavy or very tech heavy focused. Again, as of now, we got this little candle here above 555. So if that holds, I'm looking for a push into here, 556 and 558, kind of this upper range pocket here. And again, same thesis as SPY. Do we break out and hold this, on the 4 hour, on the daily, and we break out of this, 2 or 3 day downtrend? If we kind of open here and we kind of get some weak morning price action, we come back in here, same thing as SPY. Does this 552 to 553 pocket hold? And we're zooming left now. Drawings are going to stick with us for a little bit. Again, July 3rd here, coming back, consolidation. So SPY and QQQ are lined up very, very nice again. I like when that happens. It makes it easy for us for traders because when SPY and QQQ both come into a support zone, it's likely that it's going to bounce. So 552, kind of that bottom range for me, what I want to see hold this week, especially tomorrow. Push up in here, this 557 to 558. Does it push over? That's the focus for me this week. Any questions on that? We got a few more of you rolling in here. I don't see anything in the chat. Lagging. My voice, is my internet lagging? Shoot, I'm sorry if it is. Just a bit in and out. All right, let me at least get Wi-Fi off my phone real quick. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so to your guys' watch list, again, put them in the chat. There's a few people ahead of you if you start putting it in, but I will try and keep track of the chat best I can. And Norvin, first request. And Norvin, you're not in here. I even messaged you to get in here, so you got skipped. iPhone, let's check out Microsoft. Got to be present to win, guys. Microsoft had some kick-ass earnings, sold off with the market. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I would need to check the numbers for sure. But for me, again, all-time highs make things a little bit tricky, but we do have some range here, this area back here to play with and test with. So iPhone, I think you said you're not in yet, slightly bullish. Yep. So we should be, for the most part on Microsoft by the dip mode. So what I would do when I see, okay, this drawing one really quick. So when I see topside wicks like this, 1, 2, 3 here, any sell into that should trigger a fast and hard buyback. So if you're able to be patient, it could happen in 30 minutes tomorrow, could happen in 2 hours, could happen 2 days, I don't know. Any dips in this 518, that should be your first plan of attack. I guess we could say we could try and buy Friday's low. That is a very, very tradable setup as well. But for me, there's literally 1 day of volume up here because I believe this is all-time high. So I prefer to come back into where at least, there's a little more volume traded because there's a little more confidence for me that a level will or will not hold, and it's easier to kind of play off of that. So for me, I want to see a back test in this 518. Also, why I like that is because what do we have here? We have our 2 daily moving averages, or the 2 that I use. The 9 is the purple, the green is the 20. Any consolidation up here, these are going to creep up, stair step up slowly each day on the close. And now if we line up with this 518, man, we now have 2 moving averages stacked underneath this. So we have one form of support, second form of support there, and then a moving average, another form of support. So for me, any back test to that, but again, who knows? We could hold this kind of 522.50 and just bounce and keep going to this Friday zone here. So that's kind of what I'm watching. I don't have a lot to work with for you here just because it just broke out all-time highs. We're coming off 2 or 3 days after earnings, which is kind of the spot you want to do to kind of hold it or wait for an entry. But it is a very tradable setup. If we were to go to a smaller time frame, one could argue you could very well mark a level here basically at 521 flat. If you want to be buy the dip, you buy the dip on this potential double bottom here, buy your dip on some 522 or 523 calls. We bounce, great. Where do you sell? You sell in this cluster here, you break out over somewhere where we have some pre-market high levels, you trim again, and then you start looking for these candle body clusters on the way up. But if we sell through the double bottom, it's pretty obvious where we're going to go. We're probably going to go to 518, not straight down like that, but we're probably going to trickle down into that that day or that week, because that is kind of the last chance support there on Microsoft. So not a horrible setup, just not a lot to work with when it breaks all-time highs on that. All right. All right, checking the chat again. Microsoft, what we have, hood. Let's see where this is at. I think this thing was moving and grooving too last week. Ooh. Daily moving averages, rejection. That is clear and obvious. Let's zoom out to the 4 hour. Let's get a game plan. I got a red zone here from somebody, and it was failed to break out. So we are still trusting that. Clear and obvious, double, triple top zone, top range, whatever you want to call it, that 106 to 108. Are you already in hood? Is it Nick in? I'm not sure how you say your name. I'm sorry. Feel free to unmute your mic or let me know in the chat. But definitely some levels here I'm eyeing. There's some things I'm seeing here. I'm not saying be mega bearish, but there's definitely clear and obvious support here, 99 round number, and we know this round psychological 100 number. No matter what, we can slap a line there because we know it's a bounce zone. So I would definitely treat this 99 to 100 pocket if you're wanting to buy the dip. Has to hold daily, each day, each week, whatever it is, especially if you want to try and take swings on this trade. If this holds, we're good. But right now we're breaking some middle to upper range support here. So this is kind of our upper range from this move. I'd say kind of this 103 zone is our middle range, and this is our lower range here. And so what I'm seeing here is, break here, break out. What do we have? Breakout, retest, sell through it. Sold through support, pushing resistance, break over. What is it on the way down? It is support. Bounced it. Sold through, now resistance. Don't believe me, resistance on Friday. So 103 overhead. If we kind of open where this candle is here, I'm on the 4 hour chart still, you got to look to be selling there. You can't get into 102 calls, get a whole $1 move, which is a great move on your contracts, and you're greedy, you're looking for something up here, and we reject 103 again, you're back to break entry. So definitely a very, very nice range here on hood. I really, really like this smaller time frame look, what we're looking at here. Again, if we bounce this zone here, any plays off of 100, round psychological number, 100 is like the psych number if you were to, 50, 75, 80, 90, whatever it is, but 100 is like the one that, the algos like to play off of. So any bounces in there, play that bounce first and foremost. On the way up, daily moving average, 103, another moving average on the way up is going to, give you some fits, push on the way up. Can we break it? Probably, maybe, but don't be blind to it if we start double topping around here and wondering why we're kind of failing there. But any sales under 99, likely some more downside for sure. All right. Sure, I'm not skipping any chat that's relevant. Hope that helps on Hood. Looking to get long, Kevin. Are you still in here? Yep, cool. Limit, Lockheed Martin, I think that is. I don't know why I said limit, sorry, LMT. Kevin, you thinking swings, shares, day trades? What you looking at this one, man? Feel free to open your mic or just let me know in the chat. Open mics are a little bit easier because it's easier to kind of watch or than watch the chat here. But
yeah, I was thinking about swinging long because we had that big drop, kind of a little bit consolidation for the last couple of weeks. So I was thinking about maybe getting something like November calls.
Definitely, I like that for sure. I'm gonna just draw a couple lines here, man. I'm gonna zoom out and see, why is it bouncing there? Does that make sense? Absolutely. I see us immediately. Look at that bottom range bounce, man. Definitely. And kind of, we always like to teach, hard sell off after earnings. We kind of tell people, hey, wait for the 3-day rule. It is past 3 days. So definitely, man. If you guys know how I like to chart, where I like to find levels, green is support for me. This is definitely tradable setup, man. I like this. So here I'm on the daily, man. So we see back February bounce hard, April bounce hard, sell into it and through it on earnings. And now a zoomed in look here, we have reclaimed the daily 9, which I'll go to a smaller time frame. And we kind of ended with, I guess, is that our doji candle, kind of basically our indecision candle, but a 1-hour candle here, man, or 1-hour chart here.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of stop loss under like 410, but
yeah, for me, I mean, I'm a little more, I don't like a lot of risk. I like to, for me, this is a no-brainer, buy the dip. Even if you have November, just kind of how I like to trade is if we're focused on this zone, we're like, okay, we want to take calls off this zone here. If this zone breaks, like I said, I don't like to hold for deep losses, even if I have time. I know November is kind of like, I got like 3, 4, 5 months. But for me, if we break a range here that is held, what are we going to call it? 2 weeks, it's probably going to go more. And now you got to start saying, do I want to hold that contract, even though it's November, or do I want to free up some money? So if it's not your style to cut on this or what I'm telling you, what I would definitely do is you can hold your September contracts. And then I help another member of some Apple. You definitely, I would probably hedge on some day trades. So let's just say tomorrow, you buy the dip here at basically 420 flat. We break the daily 9, and let's just say in the first hour, heavy selling pressure. You're like, well, shit, I just got a November contract. We're breaking support. I would day trade if we break this support anytime this week. I would day trade some puts on this because, November contracts are probably going to cost you a lot, but let's just say contracts are, $600 or $800 a piece, whatever it is. Hey Ryan, you got an open mic, man. Not sure if you have a question, but I would
yeah, I was thinking maybe like end of September 450s are like $400, 450. Trying to get them.
yeah. So
I'm trying to get in a little cheaper. Like they're sitting around 450. I was trying to get in around 400. I'm not in them. Not in them yet.
I always do. If you're going to go for more time, you're going to have to get less contracts because you got to get a strike that makes sense. And so what I tell people, a delta of 0.3 or higher generally is what you want for swings. If it's in puts, I think it's a negative delta, I believe. So that's basically saying by expiration, you have a 30% chance of going in the money. So I don't know what those 450s would be, but kind of take a look at that. And so it's a juggling game always with swings. So it's never, I always teach people, I'm just never buying 5 contracts because that's what I do. It's all about position sizing. So if you want to put, let's just say $800 on it, and those contracts, have a delta 0.35, and they're $400, then yeah, you can get 2 of them. But again, this is a support that is proven to us to hold for 2 weeks. And if it breaks, you have to make a decision. Hey, am I wrong on my timing, or do I want to hedge it? Because I'm not going to hold contracts that expire, November, September, October, whatever it is, and just watch it bleed out, and then also have that money tied up. So, we can talk later in DMs if you want. But I would definitely hedge if we break this 417. I wouldn't be holding. I mean, I guess there's 410 here, like you said, where you mentioned back on earnings. But again, if you're taking a $10 loss on that or $10 sell, that's going to be hurting your contracts. And now your contracts are $10 more out of money. So just something to watch. But this is definitely, for anyone looking at this, I definitely do not want to take puts at this setup at all. Like we have a moving average underneath us. And if that's stacked there, absolutely, man, tomorrow or whenever you want to take this trade, try and buy that dip right there at 420, 420.5 for
Yeah,
sure.
the end of September 440s have a delta of the 0.32. So the
Nice. Yeah,
450s are like 0.2, so a little bit further out of the money. So yeah, I might do the 440s are like 600 a piece. I
yep.
was
And just yeah, just kind of
partnering.
keep a track on your position sizing because again, you don't want to be in calls on a bunch of stuff on, maybe Nando or Luigi called something out and then you call this out on your own. And then suddenly we sell more and you're like, well shit, I'm in all bullish positions. And then you're like, oh, what do I do? And now, 50% of your port is in trades, hypothetically. I'm not sure that's your trading style, but just be mindful of it and just have a plan. But yeah, definitely, man, this is the spot to try it because it's proven, there's no breakouts. I mean, there's a couple breakouts happening a couple weeks ago, but to get into swings, you do that. And then when this breakout happens, man, over 426, what do we see? We see the volume piling in and we see buyers piling in. But guess what? You're down here chilling. You're hopefully trimming a little bit here and up here. And when people are starting their entry up here, you're chilling up, whatever percent, because you're in down here. So that's the name of the game of swings. You try and best you can time the bottom on support and you just ride that wave up, man. But definitely a tradable chart for sure, man. Nice request. All right. Let's see. iPhone MTCH match group. I don't think I've ever heard this one. iPhone, are you in this or looking to be in this? What's the deal with this one? Yeah, 420.69. Yeah, for sure, man. That was a good day when SPY hit that. MTCH. Let's zoom out a little bit. And then we got don't have a whole lot. The Nick I see in here, GE. I will take a look at that one, man. We've been talking a lot in DMs. Let's check the daily here. What are we doing here? Oh yeah. Clear and obvious kind of upper range here, kind of failing here at that 34 to 35 zone for sure. So as of now, we want to be mindful of an upper range here, but not overly bearish. We want to look to buy the dips first and foremost off kind of this support here, middle range here. Damn it. I always do that at least once a week. Looking for that range, kind of right there on those wicks. Yeah, so I don't know if you're potential squeeze. Not really a squeeze. It's definitely back in a consolidation zone. Very nice. I guess it's a $1 range, $1.50 range. Looking for shares or swing trade, day trade, because I see a lot of potential in this one actually. Kind of a nice setup here. So as of now, short term, we are seeing lower highs, but we're coming into support. So I don't want to be, overly bearish on a name like this, but not overly bullish either. So first and foremost, I would try and buy all dips at this, Friday low 33.22 zone. That's also our daily 9 moving average we've seen on the daily. It's creeped up there. And overhead, we have the clear and obvious resistance overhead at 34 in a daily 9 moving average. So one moving average overhead, one below. So right now, I'm not in swing mode. I'm fully in day trade mode on how I would trade this if you're talking about options for this, because we have a clear top, we have a clear bottom. For swings, no one is winning right now. Rejections at the top, bounces at the bottom. But definitely, if we trickle in here, we ride these EMAs down, still buy all bounces here. But if 33 breaks, we'll probably lay down. If 34 breaks out, we'll probably go to this 34.8 sometime this week. So definitely a spot to watch in this name. But again, this is just kind of day trade mode set up for me on this one. Nice request though. I always like when stuff back tests some levels. Nick, let's take a look at GE, man.
Let's do it, man. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Doing good.
Sweet.
I don't remember last time we talked. Did you sell that day trade on Friday, or are you still in something? I can't remember if you swung something on this.
I wasn't swinging that. I sold it. I can't swing, man. I see the green and I gotta take it.
You know
So
what? The market doesn't give a shit about people's ports. So when you see the money, take the money, man. That's all right, brother.
yeah.
First and foremost, kind of like that last ticker we just looked. I know we talked a lot on this one, but now we can kind of verbally talk about this one. So clear and obvious support here, making a nice thick line, kind of our middle that range we've been playing on this one. So first and foremost, we see that cluster here. When it's over, it provides a bounce for us, and just did on Friday. So first and foremost, for me, how I like to trade, that 268 to 268.3 pocket, buy all dips first and foremost, because if this bounces, what else is this bouncing here? This is our daily 9 moving average right here, man. That's going to be somewhere. We sold down, we bounced up. So that daily nine is going to be stacked somewhere over here. But if we can bounce this and get back over it, not overly bullish, but I definitely don't want to be in puts when this holds here. When I have a daily 9 moving average holding, or excuse me, moving average holding and a support. Again, when they're stacked right there, I'll say it, week after week. When they're stacked underneath you, you want to get long on something. You can definitely swing, but again, it's clear and obvious. You know this. We've been talking. We've been day trading the shit out of this. We know where our top is. Doesn't
Yep.
matter if we want to break out to come. It's not happened in 2 or 3 weeks here. So yeah, you kind of see that too, what I'm seeing here on this trade.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hang on, let me pull up my chart real quick. Cause I know I got let's see. Yeah, it's like that 267.50 has been pretty money for a support recently. And then, that 269.75, that thing's been golden. That's kind of resistance right now, but those are kind of the two zones I'm planning on trading between there. I think
Yeah,
it
that,
is
that
gonna get back.
67.52 for sure, man. Yeah, you've seen that bounce there. Like that's perfect on your chart right there.
Yeah. No, it's all money, dude. This chart's so good. It's
If anyone's seen this, like again, range trading, you guys, is a blessing. Like trade it, because he's been messaging me, DM me for like 2 weeks. Like he's been buying bounces, shorting the tops, buying bounces, shorting the tops, and it's like, as day traders, as option traders, you guys, like, yeah, if you're an investor on shares, you're like, damn, I want the breakout. But it's like day traders, like this is a blessing, because over and over again, we know where the bottoms are, we know where the tops are. Like, just if this were to do this for the rest of the year, like who cares? This is free money, back and forth every single day. Short the tops, long the bottoms. These are our tops up here. These are our bottoms down here. And any trade that we go over tonight like this, you guys, when you see these ranges, just play the range, man. Play the range. Like, and how much?
the
How much? What are you buying those? What was it? Was it two
I've been
seventy
doing
two?
the contracts I'm buying?
Yeah, I can't remember. And those were paying pretty nice, right?
Yeah, 280s just because of the open interest on them.
That's right. Yeah.
Doing August 15th, 280s. It's the spread's kind of wide on the bid and the ask, so you kind of get a bad feel sometimes, but
Yeah,
it's
work
been
that.
pretty good.
Yeah, work that midfill. I think I was talking to you or someone else about that. So if you're on, I think, are you on Webull? I can't remember.
Yeah, yep.
Look at that mid price, or I'll get you your active trader set if you need help. But I'll look at your mid, and if you want to if you want to buy into a contract, it's a mid plus 0.01. So you're basically saying, I want to get in mid, I want to get in a dollar over. If you want to sell, it's a mid minus 0.01 dollar. So that's what works for me on anything with the wide spread. And you kind of work that spread, let the people, market aura on the bid and ask, and then they'll get caught up in that wide spread. But if you work that mid price, that's how it's on those contracts, man, for sure.
Okay, okay, awesome. Sweet. Thank you.
Cool. Yep. Let's see. With all the catalysts now in the market, does it affect your sentiment? Good question. So I think we got some kind of soft. I'm referring to Amani's question in the chat. I think we got some Friday soft jobs data. I think, if I am smart enough to, decipher those numbers. That, and then seasonality with the markets, just kind of generally speaking, don't hold me to it, but markets are generally likes to be nice and bullish, and then kind of in September sell. is kind of weak. It doesn't mean we're just going to sell down 10% September, but there has been some up months in September. But as we roll into September, if we keep pushing, like let's just say we bounce back to all-time highs on SPY, if we roll into September like that, I'm definitely cautious just because seasonality on the markets in general. September's are a little bit weak. They're not, like I said, they're not overly just bearish every time. They're just not super mega bullish. If we have time, we can take a peek, a look at, you know, seasonality on the markets each month. But yeah, like I said, we're coming into support on SPY. I know this is the SPY chart. We're coming into big support. So am I mega bullish tomorrow? Absolutely not. We're coming into that big support that I can go over at the end of the class again. So it's kind of one of those things, if you didn't ride that, you know, bearish trend down Thursday and Friday, tomorrow, Monday is not the spot to really make a bearish. We can definitely short the tops when we get to those tops, but if we come into support, I definitely don't want to be looking to short, you know, SPY or Qs at 520 and all that. So I'll definitely go over it again when we have some time. Tito, Amazon, let's go over it. I think you got a little bit of a pullback, didn't it? But not after all-time highs. What you thinking, Tito, on Amazon? Are you in this one? Feel free to unmute if you want while I kind of get my bearings on this chart here. 214. Oh yeah, nice support here. Yeah, 214 and a daily 200 creeping up.
Yeah, I was looking at those calls.
Yeah. So this, let's just so you can see on a big chart, because I know some of you guys have smaller screens. So that green line here, brother. Yeah, I would definitely be looking to buy the dip, because we see when we break over 214, we go for more. We break under, sell. On the way up, rejections. On the way up, failed breakouts. Finally get that breakout. We got our daily 200 creeping up. It's $4 away, but it's there. It's something to be mindful of. We're very is that allows just the day after earnings. So yeah, what I would look for here all day long on Amazon, anybody likes to play this chart, trade this name, buy your dips into here. If we kind of trickle into here on Amazon, buy your dips in there. It's a big support level, proven week after week, month after month, whatever it is. And again, we see when we sell through that here, what happens? We did get a candle close on the 30-minute under, but ultimately the next candle, what they do? Buyers stepped in for a big move to the upside. So any moves, first and foremost, for me, I'm a low risk trader. You know, I'm not going to get into calls here and hold till the daily 200 on a day trade. That's just poor risk management. If we break this level with caution, you can take some day trades, but just know we got a Friday low that's not too far away. But if we bounce this, man, definitely look to trim this 215 cluster here, because it's going to line up with, you know, that sell down, support, sell through. And let me clear this real quick. And then, so this was resistance. And again, on the way back up, it was resistance at the end of the day. So we looking for swings or just kind of like a day trade?
Look at us swing at like a week or two.
Yeah, for swings, for sure. This is definitely a tradable setup. Definitely, if you don't have 214 on your levels marked, again, just kind of depends how much risk you want. That's basically a whole dollar move down to see if this double bottom. So basically, I'm saying if you take calls here and you want to take on risk, you got to say, okay, I'm holding. If you don't cut here, you got to hold to see if this double bottom holds. I don't know what percent that is, but that's the spot. If this double bottom fails, I would just be out of calls for the time being and just say, hey, I'm just wrong on calls here at the time being. But that 214 holds. Basically, look at all price action. We got easy and obvious one target, two target, and then push up here. And then kind of, for me, for a day trade, I'd be out as we push that 218, because we can see that reaction. We sell through it, hard sell down through there. So you never want to be up, not trimming, see this and then retrace, take back half the move, and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna sell. Like, just look left on the way up for anyone watching or looking at the charts, you know, clear and obvious, look at those candles. We just have Friday's price action alone are some very nice levels to trade off of. So Amazon, you guys, let's look to this. Maybe it doesn't get the breakout, but if we kind of chop around down here, maybe Tuesday we get that bounce and big breakout. But definitely the spot to watch here. Very nice chart on Amazon. Nice. Glad you brought that up one for sure. right. Maxwell, yep, I already went over SPY. I'll do a recap at the end of class if you're still in here. Looks like you are. I appreciate that. Sticking around.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip. Oh, Norvi, you're back.
Yeah, bro. I just got in. My bad. I'm kind of late, brother.
You're good, man. Let's look at SoFi. We won't got too many requests. We got SoFi, and then let's see what we got here. Tito, I'm going to skip IREN just for now. Just I want to get to Cody, and I want to make sure we get everyone back in here. But Norvin, what was that contract you're in, man? I got some levels already started for you here, man.
So on Friday I got in around that red level you have, bro. A little bit lower, kind of that white candle.
Uh-huh. Oh, kind of this consolidation
Yeah,
zone
right
here.
there. And then obviously we got more of that dip, but that 21 strike for next week.
Okay.
The reason I went in, you see those blue right there where you have your green line.
Mhm.
You see those massive orders just step in right there. You saw it right there to the left side, then the second time, and I believe this is the third try, but I think it's around that 19 area.
Yeah, so big picture, man. Let's look at the screen and red zone here. I wanted to kind of prepare you for this, or not prepare you, but show just for education. So I'm going to zoom. We're going the way back. Time machine, guys. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. This better work out to this earlier. So this right here, you guys, is what I'm looking at. This is October 15, 2021. So like that's like 4 years ago. That's why you never delete levels, because price always comes back, and at some point on the way up, price is going to reject. So again, before I zoom back to present day, we pushed up here on 2021. You see this level here, rejection, breakout. We moved more, and now we're rejected back here on early 2021, sold down, and now it's been a 4-year battle, getting its ass kicked, getting its butt whooped. Still, now the uptrend. Now the late people that want to get super mega bullish on this, now I say, hey, you're late. Why weren't you bullish at 14? Why weren't you bullish at 12? Now you want to, I'm just talking for shareholders, not Norvin, but now why do you want to be mega bullish at 21? So again, present day here, I know you're going to be red, you closed red, you're going to be red tomorrow, but big picture here, man, if 21 holds, I know you don't have a ton of time on it. If you're not in heavy, I would take an average here, man. I would take an average down here, because we see this price action and the buybacks. When we slam into this 21, 20.9, we see the reaction there. So again, when I tell people to average down, it's not just a random ass spot on the chart. It's a spot proven over and over, literally year after year, we see buying kick in. So we broke over this, a 4-day, a 4-year fight back to get over. And immediately, once we're over this level, we dip back into it. What do we see? We see buying volume, buying pressure, kick back in, and they smoke the bears. Every time we sell back into this, we buy back hard. So that level, even from 4 years ago, still makes sense, you guys. And so Norvin, like I said, I don't know if you're in heavy or not, but if you didn't sell now, or you didn't sell, you swung, you said. So you got to see to this 21 holds. But if we sell through this, brother, it's a loss. You're just wrong on the setup, because we rejected resistance, rejected the daily 9, rejected the daily 20, rejected the 21, and there's 4 reasons that you're wrong on this sell down. If we sell through here, you got to cut that one, brother. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes clearly sense. And yeah,
Yeah.
that was all my trade plan, literally longing here, because my stop would be under that bottom of that wick of that
Yep.
last candle.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work out, then I'll just clearly say I'm wrong and move on to the next trade.
Yep. And just like, cut your calls. We sell through this or this week. Just ride the puts down. Anyone seen this, you guys? SoFi is a cheap trade. If you were to buy the dip at 20.89, you get the 21 call, and we move up to in the money. This is going to pay super nice if we move to this 21.73. So look to see if that bounces. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to, but when you want to buy the dip, when you want to average down, it's clear as day where we're going to do it, where we're going to try it. But very nice chart, man. Nice request, man.
Hey, I got a question
What's
for
up, man?
Norvin.
Okay. Yo, what?
Yeah. Hey man, how many Modelos did you buy at the stadium?
Believe me or not, bro, I did not buy none. I went with my sister and my boss, and they're like, just pick and choose.
That's why the stock's dipping, bro. You needed to buy those Modelos, but it's all right. We'll get them next time.
For sure, man.
Modelo dipping. All right, guys. Cody, you're in here. Cool, man. Got some time out of the money, 1 month expiration, 200 calls, same time as AMD, 200 calls. So you're out of, let's see. So you're probably in September. Cody, still in here? Are you red on this, or did you just take this on Friday, man? Let me know. You don't have to say how heavy you are, but let me know. I can kind of help you with the trade plan here.
Yo, 1K, can I just say something?
What's up, man?
Just on this market, considering your like your experience, do you see it's a buy the dip type of market? Because I've been
Oh
in
yeah,
the market for like 5, 6 years, bro, and I don't have that much experience. Maybe I got lucky here and there, but um, we're not in the 22 phase, you know? If we were in
no,
the 22 phase, it'll be a different story.
yeah, and our downtrend, you guys, is literally a 2-day downtrend. Like on the daily, we sold down 2 days, and so yeah, if you're still around here, Norman, like 15 minutes, I'll go back over SPY on when, why, and where I don't want to be bearish. I'm looking to be a dip buyer this week for sure, but there's a level I'll go over in a little bit. But I want to make sure I get through his requests for people. But yeah, tomorrow if we sell into this big support, we should be by the dip. But if we sell under that, yeah, we'll probably leg down short term for more on SPYs and Qs for sure. But Cody, let's see. Okay, yes, sir. Took it on Friday. Might be average down. Okay, so good news is you got a little bit of time. Bad news is you're a little bit red, but more good news is we're on support. So now that I have kind of your attention here, Cody, this 171 pocket, 171.36, if you want to write down or take a screenshot to this kind of 172.45, you can see we push up, reject, reject, we break over, and now what is it? Support. We break over, it is now support. We sell under, reject. So basically, guys, swing highs and swing lows is my bread and butter of trading. Resistance, resistance. What do? We break up, we back test resistance, or excuse me, we break over. So a resistance is now support, and we move up. So now what are we doing? We're coming back into, as of now, support. So this whole pocket here, Cody, is what I'd be watching. I'm gonna zoom in for you here now. I'm on the 1 hour chart. I can go into a smaller time frame if you want, but that's what I'm watching. So you're red, and let me draw like maybe probably the nearest resistance or what you're gonna be battling on the upside here. Kind of a little bit of a range here, but I'm gonna draw this one just because we have our daily 9 moving average. So if we break over, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts on an average down. So if we break back over this tomorrow, man, 174.3, we're reclaiming support, we're reclaiming a daily 9. I personally, with time, I probably wouldn't average down. I would save my average down for if we trickle into here, just because if you're like, okay, we reclaimed a support, I'm just going to take an average down because I'm red. And then 35 minutes later, an hour later, whatever it is, 30 minutes later, I meant to say, and we sell through. Now you're like, well, shit, I just used my, my average down money, so to speak. We just broke the support. So now your original entry is red, wherever it was, somewhere in here. Your average down entry is now red. And for me, if you're not cutting, now you have to say, okay, I got to hold to see if this bounces down here. I know I'm drawing through the after hours, but just for education, because I got to see, does this little pocket support these buybacks here? You can see these candles, the wicks on the bottom. Does that, does that hold? So that's kind of where it's a tricky spot, because we got this candle that looks like it's going to push up into it. But if we break over, retest this level here, personally, excuse me, because you have a little bit of time, you said about a month out, I personally want to take an average down because we reclaim this support here. We're looking left here. You're saying, okay, this support is holding here. I would just roll with what I have and consider it a half entry. And, maybe you got in here. I don't know where you got into, but once we break over 177, I would just say, hey, I got in a half entry. It's not a full position size. I'm just going to roll with what I have because we're breaking the downtrend if we have a couple bullish days. Once we get back to break even, it's no sweat for you. Shouldn't be worried about, an average down. But if we fail this breakout here, anywhere in here, like as we trickle into here, for me, I'm not taking an average down. I have to average down at huge bounce zones, and that's either 172.45 or your risk level 171.36, because your daily 9 is going to creep up and it's going to be stacked somewhere right there. Does that make sense, Cody? You can unmute if you want, or just let me know in the chat. But that's how I would trade this. Yeah, I'm not sure. What percent down are you at right now? If you're comfortable saying, let me know what percent. Hopefully you didn't catch the top, but if you did, that's all right. Don't beat yourself up too much. But if you bought anywhere in the back half of the day, you're chilling 24. That's not bad, man. That's not bad. So you probably bought somewhere in the back half of the day. So yeah, that candle as of now looks promising. Breakout over, that's a reclaim of our daily 9 moving average. You're golden, man. So play the chart. Just send me a DM if you need help with some charting as well. But just all you gotta do is look left. Friday's price action, the bottom. Anytime we push up to the bottom side of these wicks, that's gonna be resistance. So again, I'm not just telling you this, telling anybody. Doesn't matter what your percent is. If we push up to this 176 and we reject it there, and we have bottom side wicks there, you better be trimming for sure. You cannot be greedy, because if we reject that and you're back down to break even or back red 24%, you're like, well, shit. I know 13% isn't super sexy, but the chart says, this 176.25, whatever that is, you got to start looking to sell there. But again, breakout over that, ride that momentum. Let everybody else chase on that for sure. Decent setup though. Amani, I think I'm saying your name correctly. Reddit. Let's take a look. How are we doing on time? We got 12 minutes. We're good. Reddit after earnings. All right. Yeah, I kind of agree with cash here. Let's see. Oh, I'm on your inputs. Okay. Where did you enter? Did you enter Friday sometime? Or I guess that would make sense, right? Where on the chart did you enter, if you remember? Let me know, or you can unmute if you want. If you entered at the close of Friday, it's obvious where we need to sell through. If you entered probably all-time high, right at the top. Did you sell some? Did you sell some? Don't you lie to me. I hope you trimmed. Oh, damn it. All right, at least you're honest. All right, so your game plan here is simple. Got 2 lines here. So look here, present day, and now we scroll back in time to the time machine. You see clear as day. If not, I'm going to change this line here really quick. It's green because as of now it is support, it's holding. Your inputs, it can't be more obvious where you need the sell through. So I'm going to go back to present day. You see this price action here. When we get over it, you see the reaction buy back over. When we get under, hard selling pressure. Present day, never delete lines on your chart, you guys. Where did we close at Friday, Amani? It's no accident. We closed at support. You didn't trim, so here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow, it's a battle here. The tape is going to light up. Level 2 is going to light up right here. We bounce over, you're going to be hurting because we're probably going to retrace. I don't know how much. We might retrace 10 cents. It might be $2. I don't know. But if support holds, that's dangerous to be in puts to the top and still holding, because we might push up and those are just going to gobble your gains up. But we sell through 188. You better trim, and you better send me a DM saying, hey, I trimmed. I'll say, hey, good job. But just give me a hard time. But it's clear as day. There's one line on the chart that matters on the setup. You shorted the top up here, which is great. You didn't sell here at support, which is kind of bad, but we break through this, you're going to get paid fat. And again, I need some more lines here, but just for speed of class, just go back to this 188 zone. And you see what I did. I went to the daily, and you literally scroll left until some levels start lining up, because there's not a lot of price action. One could argue you got something here with this 182, kind of where all that price action there's here, pre-market price action there, and then data there. So any sell through there, please sell on a break of 188. If not, this 182, let's scroll back in time and see if that level makes sense. Yep. Same thing, top side wicks. What do we got here? Bottom side, or excuse me, top side wicks on this next level down. So we break support, This is going to be support on the way down. Please trim some. But nice setup though. I hope this pays you. I truly do. I don't want anybody in this server to lose money. Nice level if you're short and it breaks. Nice level. Crash. Yeah, let's take a look at Marvel, man. MRVL. Marvel. Ooh. Oh, look at that, man. Damn. 200-day moving average smackdown. I wish I would have seen that. I would have shorted that all day long. Man, it lines up with that. Oh, the easiest short position of all time, probably. Look at that, guys. Damn. 200-day moving average smackdown and a smackdown from March 4th, the bottom was resistant. So coming back into this middle range here, a lot of topside wicks here. For the bounce. You want some more shares, really? Or are you looking for a day trade on this? But definitely coming to the top side of this consolidation zone here. So I'm kind of, as of now, this consolidation lower range, top range, sell through into it, break back over, back test, and then break over. So yeah, nice setup here. Let's see, what do we got here on this smaller time frame? Yep. If you're not short, if you're not bearish, you're too late. Can it go more? Yeah, but stair stepping down, I would be on high alert for a trend reversal, which means lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, stop, trend reversal, bounce on support. Daily 9 moving average, excuse me, daily 20 by green, and daily 9 is overhead. So you don't buy the bounce here on options and you look for 83. No, you buy the bounce and you look at Friday's price action. Very, very nice levels. Yeah, 70. I mean, I charted pretty quick, but this 73.50 looks like it's pretty money, man. Any dip buy, especially look for what I like to do, man. And this goes for any chart. So let's just pretend that, we got our support here. If you buy, I like to call it a fake kill candle where they kind of sell it through and we get a big buyback, meaning there's a big wick on the bottom side. So I don't want to attempt to draw this candle. It's gonna be super ugly, but the candle closed like that, but it's got a long wick on the bottom. That means sellers tried to kick it down. Buyers said nope, and a big buyback back over it. And that's what you see. If you see something on the 15-minute or 30-minute tomorrow, man, that is, anyone watching this chart or any chart for that matter, that's your cue to try and buy in. Because I'm not saying, the opening 4-minute bell, buying at the open, but, watch that. If they start setting a triple top here, just intraday levels 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4, quadruple. Yeah, buy that dip for sure, because this is clear as day. If you're trying to be bullish for a day trade and we sell through it, what are we doing? We're probably gonna leg down. I don't know if we get this whole move down here, but it's obvious. I like to trade obvious setups. You guys, this is obvious. You buy the dip here on an attempt. You want it to hold. If it holds, ride the wave. Friday's close. Friday's midday consolidation. Friday's high. So many targets on the way up to trim. You break Friday's high. Now you're just chilling the rest of the week. Nice setup for sure. All right, 5 minutes left. Spine QQQ recap. If you guys got to head out, you can. I appreciate y'all being here, all 20 of you. Appreciate it. Let's start QQQ. Let's do something different. For those asking kind of market sentiment, what am I looking at here? 30-minute chart here. Again, you guys may have joined late. Green zone here, red zone is resistance. Let's zoom out and why I don't want to be super, super bearish down here. We're going back to July, you guys. This is that July. Give me a second to zoom in here. 4-hour chart here. Push up, red zone reject. Come down in this green zone. I know this sold through, like I said, I mentioned earlier, but every time you guys, July, rejection, rejection, breakouts are not failing. Come into this green zone, buybacks kick in. Not so much here. Buybacks kicking in, buybacks kicking in, kicking in, kicking in, kicking in every time. We know it's clear as day, you guys. 552 on QQQ. Sorry about the rhyme. This 552 to 553 pocket here has to hold tomorrow, has to hold this week. If it doesn't, we're probably going to leg down into some of these levels here, 550, 549, 548. Not saying it happens in an hour, in a day, or a week, but if this zone here, this was our early July consolidation, so it's July 3rd here. If that fails, we're probably going to leg down. If it holds, again, that's why tomorrow, people see Thursday and Friday's price action. They're like puts. I'm not thinking puts until, hang with me here, until we find a top to short. So one could argue I could probably draw this a little bit better here. So first plan of action here, my plan of action, that is, if we kind of trickle in here, if I were to play the open, I don't play the open, I'm definitely trimming 556, 61. That's fine. If we're in calls, we break out over, that's fine. But I'm not going to watch this move up here and then take the move here on calls, because when this fails here, what do we see? Hard selling pressure, kill candle down. So if you're late on calls on this push up, 556.61, we can go more, but don't start a position here. Get a breakout, retest, prove that it holds. Yeah, then let's play the leg up to this 558 zone here. But again, same thing. You're at a work meeting, you missed this leg up, you missed this breakout retest. Nando's in calls, he's up 80%, he's down to 1. Don't watch that move and then watch here and go, okay, now I want calls here. When you see it clear as day, can't get any more obvious, rejection there. So, if you miss these moves up, this is hypothetical for pushing on calls, trim heavy into these zones, you guys. Do not hold at resistance. Bearish thesis. We push up here, we fail. We push up, we fail. Get your puts here. You want to see repeatable price action. When you want to short an uptrend, an uptrend during the day, that's the spot to watch for there, for sure. If we don't even get there, we start selling, bounces don't hold, breakdown, retest, we're shorting 555. Why are we shorting 555? Repeatable price action, you guys. 555 fails in a day on Friday. What did it do? It sold hard. We come down into here, you couldn't pay me to buy puts down into here. If we come into here, let's just say we're really weak pre-market, we trickle in, we open, boom, calls all day long. It has to prove that this fails. We looked down the daily chart, or the 4-hour chart, excuse me. Know your zones, you guys. Never delete levels. Build a game plan. If you guys are just blindly diving into stuff, just blindly taking puts because we had a down day Friday, that's not the way to do it. Yeah, let me look at Delta Airlines for sure. Let me recap on SPY in case people have to leave. But Nick, I'll take a look.
Yo, 1K, any stocks that you're like looking at this week?
Yeah, I can run long, man. I can look at a couple charts you want. They're just stuff from my watch list. Let me do SPY real quick, you guys. Same thing, you guys that are watching this. Yeah, we had 2 down days, but some things to watch here. So as we trickle up into here, the 624 to 625, this is a no zone for me to start a call position. If we open lower and we push up, yeah, take your money on calls. But for me, if we start trickling here, we see choppy price action. And what do? We get sideways and people go, oh, premium burn. They're just chopping contracts. It's no accident. We're coming into a resistance zone, and buyers are weak, but sellers are not really kicking it down. Sellers are not really giving a shit at the moment. So, what's going to happen? We're going to chop in this zone here. So this is no man's land for calls here. Breakout over, that's fine, because what are we doing? We're breakout over this Friday zone there. So any sells under here, I'm bearish easy on the day. But again, I'm not bearish looking for this right away. I'm bearish all the way down. It's easy. We look at a smaller time frame chart here. We short this top, meaning we're shorting where it makes sense. Where do we sell, you guys? We have Friday's price action. It's so easy. Trim all the way down. Now you trim 3 times. Now you can start looking for 621, 620.75. But again, if I get any hints, if I start sniffing out that this is failing, I'm short. I'm looking for a short position on something else on the market. But a breakout over is a short-term trend break. Let's ride that wave over 625, but it has to break over. We break back under this, it's, who knows? They could start pinning us in consolidation with a $5 range. I wouldn't be mad at all. Delta Airlines, let me move this over real quick. Pull up this watch list. Again, I'm gonna run a little bit long, you guys. You guys can jet out if you want, but I do want to go over a couple things in the watch list because, yeah, Delta Airlines here. I think we've got a 4-hour chart. I think this is a name I don't want to be short on either. Short for swings, that is. We can short a day trade. But yeah, coming to this 50, Nick, it's not quite there right now, but we've seen that big buyback, that 50.75. Look at that when we get back into that. See this level here? We get back into it. Definitely, if you weren't in puts, weren't in puts, and now you want to be in puts down here, that's not the place to do it for me. Kind of in the middle. Not gonna say no man's land, but I don't love it for swings. I'm not saying you said swings, but kind of got that middle zone here. Kind of right there. So we kind of know our top of the recent price action up here, recent, not saying up here, but recent. We kind of got this bottom where we're bouncing. So this is kind of that middle range here, but we see these top side wicks here just from a few weeks ago before earnings. If we start seeing that this week at this level here, that's your trigger to go short. And I would definitely take puts on a break of 51.25. Definitely a spot, but again, not mega bearish. I'm not looking for stuff all the way down here. I'm trimming on the way down. If I get that move down into here, that's fine. Yeah, definitely nice spot here. Let's keep an eye. Zoomed in. Look, what is that price action? Yeah, it's struggling. When it's sold through support, it's always resistance on the way up, and it couldn't fight through those sell orders on the way up. That's what it's doing. It's just, it's just a battle here at this zone. So it's clear as day. Breakout retest 51.25. Buy that bounce with caution. We're not looking for stuff up here on a first target because we got those top side wicks to worry about. But if that fails, could get caught in a little bit of chop here, but if that fails, I don't really want to buy the dip just for how I trade on calls. I would let sellers kind of take their turn for sure. Sue, UAL, United, I think. Yeah, let's do that. And I might
Yo,
look at
1K, you
more.
see QQQ literally lost $22, bro, in 1 week.
Mm-hmm. It's all right though, man. Dips are good. Nobody wants to buy the top. I don't want to. United Airlines, right? Yeah. Coming back in. Let's see. Let's check the daily. Sue, are you in this or just want to be in it? Shares, options, what do you got for me? That way kind of give you a trade plan here. Because buying leaps is different than a day trade.
Yo, 1K, MMA say if you can check UNH after.
Man, if people aren't even have shares, they're just screaming, but that thing is just hurting. Let's see, swings. Sue, are you in a swing or want to be? Because I see something pretty obvious here I kind of want to help you with. If you're already in, I'll help you on getting out on some profit. But if you're not in yet, there's something big here I want to show you here. So sorry. So back to the daily chart here. So not in yet. Perfect. Okay. So if you want to be swing calls, for me, it's going to take a little bit of patience on how I trade. So we're on the daily chart here. We're focusing on this basically this 85 zone, this top level here. We push into it. And when we kind of just, every time we push into this, or when we do, sellers kick in, they kick it down. What do? It takes pretty much a gap up to get over that. We sell it down into Friday. We close under it Friday. And this yellow line, which I don't talk about too much because it doesn't come into play, is the daily 200 moving average. So what it did, it opened under that. It opened at that on Friday and rejected, and it sold down. So a little bit of patience here if you want to buy swing calls. We either have to, for me, here's how I trade, here's how my mind works. So if you were, I'm not saying ignoring my advice, but if you were to, let's just say you just buy calls Monday at the open and you reject support and you're buying swings that take time. For me, when I break a big level of support, I have to say, okay, this level held here. I have to hold. Let's just say you got in those November contracts. So support level, you bought here at resistance on the way up, it failed. I have to wait and see, does this hold? Because I'm not going to take like, a very long swing, let's just say a leap. And then I'm just not going to cut it 10% just because it held. So you want to see, for me, the better trade but with caution because we got this daily 200. So this isn't the best setup for swings, but it can pay. So you want to see a breakout hold of this level here, basically 85 flat, because if 85 flat holds, all these sellers here from Friday, they're probably going to vanish and you're probably going to move up. But again, don't look for stuff way up here because this daily 200 against a 200-day moving average, it moves very, very slow. It basically moves like a flat line. So it's going to be somewhere here at 86. So you can catch a $1 move, but when we creep up to that, go to your daily chart if you don't think or swim, slap the 200-day moving average. Let me know if you need help on that. I can help you, and figure out where that's at on your chart and either set an alert or draw a line, because that is going to reject again, and it may just start triple topping in here and creating a range in here for you. So a break and retest over 85, you can definitely take calls, but it's not the greatest setup for call swings just because of this moving average overhead. But again, if we break this and we break out over 86, over that daily 200, that's even better. So again, this is like the lowest premium you're going to pay for a breakout reset retest of calls. Or you can wait maybe a day or two, maybe we kind of trickle in here after hours, and then boom, Tuesday we break out over the daily 200, then you can get your entry there. And then if you do that with swings, this would be your stop out zone. You know, if you got calls hypothetically here on Tuesday, because this pocket here is now going to form support over this daily 200. But again, if this fails 85 tomorrow or this week, not a swing spot for me, but it can work. But I just know that when I see this zone there based on the daily, that we're probably going to trickle down into here, you know, 1 day later, 2 days later, I don't know, it could be an hour later, depending on sell volume. But definitely not a spot that, you want to be holding. Just use some caution with that, especially short dated swings. But send me a DM if you want to go over it more in detail, or if you're like, hey, I entered this on Monday, can you help me out on what to look for here? I can definitely do that. All right, last one, United Health, just because it's a popular name, and then we got it in the chat, you guys. I need some dinner. I'm getting hungry. Oh shit, broke support. Let's go the daily. Not that like I called the bottom, but I was like charting it out last week, and I drew this green zone here. I'll show you on the daily. I thought for sure that this would hold. Got that wick there from May of this year. I was like, man, it's gonna hold. Zoom out. Way back time machine. Let's see if I can go back far enough. Come on, get me there. There we go.
Yeah, I think the next level on that's 190, bro.
Dude, this is the COVID crash right here, guys, right? This is March 2020, the COVID crash. So, old level breakout, retest, breakout, sold through. So we were selling into COVID levels, you guys. Like, I mean, good thing about shares, there's no expiration date unless the company goes out of business. But I guess let's draw a couple more here. But I'm shocked. I'm shocked that green level cut through like butter. But I guess we're catching a falling knife. Truly, I mean, I'm looking here. I'm just holding this mouse cursor. I'm grabbing the bottom side of these wicks here, you guys, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just, if the knife keeps falling, the bottom sides of these candles have to hold. So if you're still holding, you're looking at, if you bought the top of the green zone, that's not bad. Another 4% down. So big picture, you guys, on shares, like, yeah, you're red, but for me, if I bought here at basically 250, we sold down. Yeah, it sucks you're in the red, but I'm not going to cut because I'm 4% red. Like, there's a lot of support here. I know, like, that green zone should have held, or you would expect it to hold, but next support levels are only 2 to 4% down. That's not a big deal. But I'm not telling you to hold. I don't know when you guys bought in, but man, that's the daily. That's a daily engulfing all the way through that. I'm at a loss for words, man. It's yikes.
Yeah, I think if this thing loses another $30, bro, like,
I mean, I don't even know, because people have been trying to buy this dip and buy. I don't know if MMA and Shark, I think they're thinking about leaps or wanted leaps. Like, Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't have answers for you guys. I'm sorry, but it just,
It's
call it
crazy, man.
oversold, call it, it needs a bounce. Like we are so like when I teach you guys like, hey, we're getting kind of far from the daily moving averages back here, look for a bounce. Well, it bounced again. We're so far this gap from these daily moving averages. Like you think it's going to bounce, and it just hasn't. I don't know statistics, but is that right? 14%. Yeah, we have 14% from the daily 9. Like that is insane. Let me make sure here on a zoomed in look.
All the sentiment I'm seeing online is like, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. But yeah, this thing just
It
keeps
just
going
doesn't
down.
matter when big money. I mean, someone is shorting the shit out of this for if they just hate the healthcare system or something. But yeah, we're 14% from moving average. Like we don't get that on SPY. Like we get like 2% away from a moving average on SPY. And I'm like, hey, be careful. We're 2% away. We might retrace back into it. We retrace back, and it's like, even on SPY here, we're now, we're 2% away from moving average, and that's pretty normal, 2 to 3%. We start getting top side, bottom side when that starts happening. I'm like, hey guys, we're kind of running a little bit. We're probably gonna retrace a little bit, and we usually do. And so, damn. But yeah, UNH, I don't have answers, you guys. Someone is shorting it, short sellers with a lot of money, big company, whatever it is, and they're not done. I don't know when it's going to be done. Guys, we're running long. I appreciate you guys being here. But with that, I'm in the chat tonight. You guys send me a DM if you guys need help on more detailed charts. But again, look for short opportunities if we start petering out here at the 625. If you want to short upwards moves, that's the spot to do it. If you want to catch the bounces for swing trades, for bigger moves down here at the 621 pocket here. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. DMs are always open for those that put the work in and ask me for help. I will always give you guys priority to help. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, 1K. Enjoy your dinner, bro.
Yep. Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
brother.
you being here, guys.